88.9 WERS and WERS.org. You know what it is. It's your boy Silos from the West Coast, joined by a special guest. VICEVERSAH is in the building. What's going on, Vice?
What it is. Good to see you, Silos.
Thanks for coming by. So real quick, I heard you this past Saturday with Dead Prez. How did that go?
It was crazy, man. It was the building was packed. DPs really killed it. I feel like I really killed it. I got a great crowd response, so I couldn't have asked for anything better.
That sounds awesome. Did you open for that, or?
I went on, I opened up. I went on a couple acts right before DPs, so if you got there around 11:15, 11:30, you would have caught me.
Right on, right on. Where will you be at next? What's the next performance spot for you?
Right now, I'm looking to do my own gig, headlining gig at the Western Front in Cambridge sometime around May, but I haven't locked that down yet. We were gonna do a show with Max B at Harper's Ferry, which was apparently canceled due to fear of violence or something like that, which has been happening a little more recently. And it's a little unsettling.
Joe Budden's over there.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that. I think that's been discussed on the radio. You know, at enough length at the moment, but definitely that stuff is going on recently. It's like a resurgence of like bad vibes. So I'm trying, I want to see that go down.
That's cool. That's cool. All right, so I got a question for you. What does the inspiration of your music come from?
It comes from just pretty much raw emotion. When I hear good music that I like, it makes me bob my head, and that's the music that I try to make. That hits you in your gut.
Yeah. That's on your track. I know that's one of your tracks you're talking about, like your head's nodding.
That's right. Well, that's one of the basic essentials of hip hop music. You gotta get the head nod going.
Right. So I know in 2003 you're at NYU, where you dropped out a year earlier. What was going on? Did you feel like hip hop was your calling? Like what was going on during that time?
I was actually at NYU in 2001. So coincidentally, the whole 9/11 thing happened like my first couple weeks of classes, and everything kind of went haywire from there. Like in my life, it was school and everything. So I dropped out, and ever since I've just been making music.
Right.
Those two things were kind of conflicting for me at the moment, so I had to choose one or the other.
How long? Like when did you start? Like spitting rhymes and stuff. When did it all really come to you?
When I was, 15, 16. Actually, I met this dude named Kabir. You may know him. He has a few albums out. He's an older cat. He's been around for a while, and he put me on to like freestyling and smoking, cigars and all that stuff. And just living the good life. But in terms of hip hop, and he was on some dope level that I could connect with. So he put me on. I started rhyming. I wrote my first rhyme, and I spit it for people. I was like, I just couldn't stop spitting after I wrote my first rhyme. So people would listen. People were giving me good responses. I was loving it. I was getting what I had on my chest off my chest, and so just really perfect.
All right, you know what it is. 88.9 WRS. Your boy Silos from the West Coast with VICEVERSAH. Keep it locked on 88.9 at night.
You won't off with us, but you can't bump without us. You won't off with us, but can't bump without us. You in the slump without us. Can't move, can't pose, can't show, can't prove, can't do nothing. No zip, zero, nada. Won't off with us, but can't bump without us. Get that thump without us. You in the slump without us. So we're back on the pump like the powders. We're necessary for your health like a vitamin. A combination of good food and Heineken. And we never look back at what might have been setbacks, cause we get cracking in spite of them. Non-believers, we do it for the delight of them. Enlighten it like electricity, turn on the light for them. I write for the peacemakers and riots, so inciting them. If you're watching on the news, so exciting it. Get off the sofa, get a piece of the pie. And if not, get up and just give them a piece of your mind. Cause how we do it here is reach for the skies. Seek you will find, that's how we climb these peaks. It's so heightening. So you in a slump without us. No thumping, you chump without us. Try to picture this ish without us. Like no, can't do it, gotta admit you got us. You won't off with us, but can't bump without us. You in a slump without us. Can't move, can't pose, can't show, can't prove, can't do nothing. No zip, zero, nada. Won't off with us, but can't bump without us. Get that thump without us. You in a slump without us. So we're back on the pump. Calling all heads from the bean out to Cali. All cats I never met from Korea out to Panama. You can't do without us, we came to rally, y'all. Fresh cuts like fish fillets off the caviar. You can make yourself a target like a matador. Just keep it true in here, nothing else matters, dog. Grab the bull by the horns when they blew in here. In about half a bar, let them do it. Many crews wanna contest the strength of what we're doing here. You're new in here if you're thinking that we're new in here. And what we're doing here is breathing in the fresh air, the changing of the seasons and the raising of the pressure here. And if you're looking at me with the look like what you doing here, and you don't know the single answer to the question there, that's why I love my profession. Cause I can make it clear to both of us that you should keep it moving. Yeah, you won't off with us, but can't bump without us. You wanna slump without us. Can't move, can't pose, can't show, can't prove, can't do nothing, no zip. Zero won't off with us, but can't bump without us. Thump without us. You wanna slump without us. So we're back on the pump like the what? Vice versa, 2009, WRS. Peace. Pose, can't show, can't prove, can't do nothing, no zip, zero, nada, don't fuck with us, we can't bump without us.
Let's talk about Arcitype. He has produced both your albums. First one, Career Suicide, and of course your latest album, James and the Giant Beats. And so I was reading an article, QRO magazine, and in the article, Arcitype, quote, "I didn't even think he was good at first. I remember hearing him freestyle at this party, and I just thought he was whack." Obviously, that's not the case anymore, but where did this whole partnership begin, and how did that start up?
Well, you know, I ended up, it was kind of a family friend introduced me to him maybe 5-6 years ago, I guess at this point, maybe even longer ago than that. But so yeah, I was drunk, I was freestyling, and that's what happened. That's why it was whack, and that's why this dude got this quote out of him. All right, nobody got the freestyle on tape. Show me the whack freestyle, and then we can talk about it. Anyways,
this was his party too, right?
This was his party, yeah. So he can cry if he wants to. So that's the way we met. Anyways, he was the first real producer that was like kind of on his grind that I had linked up with, that was, you know, down to do some work with me on, like, you know, pro bono or whatever, like just on the cuff. So
right.
We just started working together like that, and we made it. I wrote a couple songs and they came off nice, so we decided to do an album.
That's awesome. All right, so let's talk a little bit about your latest album, James and the Giant Beats. Your first album, Career Suicide, released in 2006, had 500 copies in circulation. Then your mixtape, V for Vice Versa, obviously generated some buzz as well. How's James and the Giant Beats doing so far?
It's hard to sell CDs, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that. That's something I'm learning as an artist. But, you know, it's moving, and people are loving the record.
Yeah.
And, you know, I haven't gone gold. I haven't even gone a quarter of that.
Yeah.
But that's not really what I'm concerned about at this point in time with this CD.
That's good.
You know what I mean? I just wanted to put out the best album I could, so that when people look back, you know, maybe when I am selling numbers, they'll be like, this dude was putting out good music before he was selling numbers. It's not just like a one-time thing. So I'm trying to have a long-term career, you know, not just kind of go with what's hot at the moment and try to bank off some popular trend. You know what I mean?
I guess.
So I'm just trying to make the music that I like to listen to, and I'll keep making that. So, you know, the sales are tough. You know, any rapper will tell you that. Any 99% of rappers out here will tell you that, especially in Boston.
Yeah.
But, you know, whatever's clever, I'm still on my grind.
That's nice. How long did it take you to put together this album? Like, how much time and energy went into this one?
I mean, Career Suicide came out in 2006, so this one came out late 2008, so it took about a year and a half, almost 2 years of collecting, like, photos for the artwork and, you know, blah, 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 getting masters. Yeah, so a year and a half, 2 years. It took a while, man.